All right, finally started the stream. So hi everyone, it's Harry from Hasbro to be back on another video. As I've got Eugene with me
We-
and TJ.
Yeah,
Where's we got
we're
TJ
just
today?
celebrating TJ's 1K
Yeah,
subscribers
yeah, yeah.
in the back
Yeah,
room.
big up everybody, man. Welcome, people. Hope everybody's well. I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me from this journey, man. 2 weeks. 2 weeks has been probably one of the craziest 2 weeks of my life. I'll be honest with you. Releasing content every other day. As you can see, I'm active on my channel. I just want to say thank you for anybody that has supported me through this journey. Happy Feet, big part in this journey. Too much of Elijah, big part of the journey. As Eugene, you already know, man. You guys have been there from the start. Been there when I've been saying like, I'm not serious about this YouTube thing. Yeah, man. And maybe soon I'll upload on my video. Now I've decided to upload and look at it. Consistency, I just have to be consistent. And I promise to you, I am going to be consistent. Every home game, currently, I'm making it in my abundance to do interviews with the fans that are going to the games. Has been on my channel twice now from the home game. I'm releasing I'm actually doing home game content. I'm going to introduce after home game, so after the game content, but I just have to work around
Time.
the time frame, because it's quite difficult. It's especially when you've lost the game. I need to work
And also,
out how
Bear
I'm going
People
to do
post
that.
straight after as well. Both Bear
Yeah,
People post straight after, literally. Like, yeah,
hundred
they'll go
percent.
live straight
No,
So
but
after.
right, what I've learned, right, if you go and do videos, right, when we lose, right, you get more views.
You do get more views, yeah.
Bro,
maybe.
we are freaking, I don't know, a negative positive kind of shit coming out, right?
Yeah. You're
All right.
right. You're right.
Start the show, bro.
It's like
Go.
AFT,
Yeah,
it's
let's
like
start.
FTV, isn't it? So it's like FTV.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Kinda.
it's interesting you bring that up, Dortmund, in it, because obviously me and TJ actually met before the game. We're actually quite negative about it. We thought we were gonna get battered, but
Yeah. So did I,
Eugene,
man.
as it's 1:45 a.m. in where you are, what do you think of the
Yeah.
Dortmund game?
I didn't watch it. I watched for about half an hour when that first goal went in. And after when that red card, I said that shit, right? We are 1-0 up and we have a goal advantage and the red card. I don't think we're gonna lose. I did have it playing and I fell asleep. It was at 4:30 a.m. in Malaysia at that time. So yeah.
That's fair enough, to be fair. That's fair enough.
So I have no comment on that game at all, but I did watch it back. To tell the truth, guys, in the second half, we weren't that bad. I think it was more of a controlled kind of scenario where, it was like a practice run out. We did have a few chances, but we got pillow foots and, people who can just can't shoot to the left or the right, right? They just only can shoot down the middle. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
And Mark just come on. So Mark, how you doing,
Hey,
man?
big up, okay. How you doing?
How you doing, Mark?
Big up, chaps. How we doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we're all good.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, sweet as nut. Just before we start, just like to say, well done to TJ.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really
1,000
appreciate it, man.
subs. It's hard work, man. We've been going a year, and we've only got
Yeah.
3/4 of that. So,
Yeah.
well done to you, man. Well done to you. And yeah, keep going, man. Keep going, keep going, and you'll get there, man.
It's hard work. I have to say, every other day releasing content, and on top of that, just match days doing interviews and all of this and that. It takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, man.
I've been doing it for 2 weeks, and this is the 2 week result. Massive. Like even yesterday, I posted a video. It got nearly 900 views.
Yeah.
From one day. So if I carry it on, who knows what I could do, man? Who knows? But yeah, carry on going on with what you're saying. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. You were part of the journey that has helped me get where I'm at.
Well, we're always here, mate. We're always here. If ever you need any, speak, whatever, we're here anyway. We're here for everyone. Hopefully all YouTubers, in the Spurs community are there. We all need to be one, mate, whatever our opinions are.
100%.
At the end of the day, I feel like our fan base is like, whoosh,
Oh
You
yeah,
know
we're
what
a
I mean?
mess. We're a mess.
It's
We're
like
actually-
a proper mess. But yeah, thanks for having me on, chaps. Really appreciate it.
Brilliant,
So
brilliant.
we'll just talk about the Dortmund game. What do you think of the performance and the team selection and the result? Like, because we and TJ met before the game, we thought we were going to get battered, so we were quite surprised with
Yeah.
the result.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had us down to lose. I think I said 3-1. I just couldn't
Same.
see.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
see with the skeleton team with Bergvall and Gray trying to hold up the centre of midfield against let's say a very good Dortmund team. Had only lost 1 in 18, and we were sort of, I don't know what we was, 3 for 16 or something like that. 3 wins in 16, whatever it was. 3 wins in 12, or whatever it is. They were the form team. And, we were bare bones, plus Mawani on the bench, plus kids, pretty much. So if it started to go wrong, who was going to fix it? No one. But it didn't get to that stage. I thought first half we played really, really well. Really well. And probably to the fact of we've seen so much dross and pragmatic football, it probably wasn't really well. We just did well. Do you know what I mean? We was a bit more on the front foot, had a few good chances. Obviously Solanke was lucky with his
Triple deflected,
deflected, whatever it was.
Self-assisted goal. He should get the assist and goal.
Listen, just one thing I do want to put straight is just because people on YouTube in the community, I've seen some people get sort of a bit lambasted. How can you go against your team? Do you know what I mean? I'm not going against them. I want them to win. Of course I want them to win. I'm just looking at it myself thinking, how are we going to win? But fair play to him. I thought Archie Gray first half, I thought was really, really good first half. He slowed down a bit second half. Bergvall was decent as well. The pair of them in the middle did really, really well. But again, what I would like to say is I think that when I watched the game back, I thought that our midfield was afforded so much space that you wouldn't get in the Premier League. That helped Xavi Simons a lot. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't.
Okay, but the 10 men played a big part too. You have to
and that too. Yeah, I was just getting to that, Eugene, and that too. But lots of space. They had lots of space, and you know what they say: if you get good players in lots of space, they'll do what you think they're meant to do. Do you know what I mean? And I think it was a bit like that. But forget the 10 men on the night. It was a good performance. Sat back a bit second half, which I didn't really understand. I would have thought rather than bringing them on with the 11 men, we would have thought sort of, even if we weren't piling forward, we'd have kept possession. Do you know what I mean? And made them run. They're the ones with 10 men. But 2-0, good result. Let's hope that it sort of folds itself and manifests itself over.
Pick up yourself.
Into Saturday, and let's
Hopefully.
see what happens Saturday, and and go from there. Good performance on the night, but I'm not getting carried away by any stretch of the imagination because as much as I wanted Thomas Frank in as a coach at Spurs because I thought that is what would be happening, coach. Obviously he doesn't get whatever time's required. Things might have changed a little bit now because Hettinger's in, so perhaps he had something to do with the front-footed football. I don't know. I'm just putting things out there.
The front-footed football, I think, culminated from the Sunday lunch, right? That was the warning. If you don't play front-footed football, and we lose, right, and the fans start singing again, you're gonna get sacked.
Yeah, well, Eugene now. He's proved with the skeleton squad that he had, even though there was afforded more room around the pitch, some of them have proved that they can actually play football.
What live stream are you watching?
These are the trolls. When you
What
see
sort of
these, right?
stream have I joined here? What's going on?
I'm like, what? I wasn't even live yesterday. So I didn't even know
Not
what's going on.
serious.
On live yesterday. We were live, but not.
Keep the comments coming, people. Keep the comments
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
Help
Any
the
comments,
algorithm, right? Yeah.
help us with the algorithm. Yeah, 100%.
Haters want to hate.
Broader,
Haters want to
yeah, broader
Bring them all on,
broader
right?
our fan
Bring them
base.
That's it.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah.
could have told me you was broadening your horizons, mate. Jeez.
Big
Yeah.
up, guys.
So what can I go on next as if that's
Yeah,
all right?
go
Yeah,
ahead.
we're
I'm
gonna go
done,
to you
mate.
next
I'm
anyway.
Cool,
We got
so-
TV stuff. We got-
So from my perspective of the Dortmund game, even just before the game, I set out to do I had around 20 interviews
What?
before the game. Haz was one of
Really?
them. Thank you for coming on. And there was a few fans. There was even a Liverpool fan that went to actually watch the game, and I had an interesting conversation with this Liverpool fan, because he actually ultimately said that Frank definitely needs to get sacked. He said he clearly isn't at the requirements of what Tottenham want to be and where they want to go, and it was interesting to hear from a Liverpool fan. But even just going on and interviewing a lot of people, I was actually asking them, like, is there anyone that believes that we can actually truly win or truly get a result out of this game? And from my interviews, there was only 2 people. From them 2 people, they were under the age of, one was under the age of 16. The other one was under the age of, I think, 18. I was allowed to interview the under age 16 with his parent. His parent, he pulled him over and he said, yeah, let me. So I thought that was quite cool. He predicted a 3-2 win, and the other person predicted a 1-0 Tottenham, and he was just being optimistic. But I would say 80% of my interviews was Tottenham losing. Going on to the game with the team that he lined up with and essentially the players that were out, I even predicted a loss. I didn't think we could even touch this Dortmund team, because if you think about it, they've only lost 2 games in their entire season right now. Currently, they're in good form. They were in good form after getting beat by Tottenham, but they were in good form, I thought that Spence was one of my favorite. It's kind of underrated because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about Spence, but him playing in that left winger position, I actually really liked it, to be honest with you. There was a few moves that he done to get past his opponent, which for me, we need to see more of. I like the combination of Adogi behind him. It actually suited Spence to a cup of tea. The midfield, I thought Archie Gray, again, you've mentioned Archie Gray played pretty well. He done the job that he done. Our midfield was really strong, and I felt like Frank just took the handbrakes off. And yeah, another talking point that I felt like a lot of fans were talking about on the day was Teletubby Town being ejected out of the European squad. And again, I was speaking to Haz, and I'm going to let Haz go on after this because I'm kind of like rambling, and I'm trying to do a summary of this whole game. But there's so many building blocks in one in this stance. So I actually thought that by him not playing Tell or not including him in the actual squad, he was trying to get the sack ultimately, because I didn't understand the move. Tell has been one of our best attackers with what we have on the pitch for the past 3-4 game weeks, to be honest with you. So I expected at least Tell to be a part of the squad. But clearly I was wrong. Frank was right, because what he'd done was he decided to switch Tell with Solanke, and Solanke was the person to score, which means the manager basically got it right, because really and truly he's picked his team, and team has performed at a standard. I was a bit disappointed in the second half. That's all I will leave, and then we can dive into it a bit deeper. But I felt like going against 10 men, I wanted to go for the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, personally. the way we sat back and invited pressure, I've not been comfortable with this Tottenham defense, and especially Vicario in goal. I don't.
No, Vicario. Oh my god.
Yeah, TJ's lost his volume.
You
Yeah,
went on
that's
mute.
Yeah.
You mute.
Can't hear you. Yeah, can't hear you.
No.
Yeah, can't hear you. Yeah. Log in and out again.
Yeah, go out.
Log in and out.
Okay.
Come back in again. Substitution.
Yeah, out. Go
TJ's
out and come back.
Yeah, TJ, you're on mute. Go out and come back in again.
Oh.
Oh, no, you're back. Wait.
Now he's back.
Every time he comes in, just tell him you can't hear him.
Yeah.
Now, guys, the Dortmund game, right? Cookie, we've been old Spurs fans, right? We've been through this kind of highs and lows before, right? But the only thing is that now is that we need consistency. All I can see now is that a lot of things is that his hands were forced, right? You're back, yeah. His hands
Yeah,
were
but
forced.
you know what's messed up? My live stream. It's cut my live stream because now I've left the live. It cut it. So
It still
now
says
I'm
you
gonna have to
connected.
start.
It still says it's connected
Yeah.
though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It still says it's connected.
Maybe. I don't know, man. But
check anyway.
sorry, I'm gonna
Carry
yeah.
on.
I'm gonna round up this conversation. So essentially that you guys can actually get someone else can speak. So essentially it's the second half. I didn't really like the fact that we came out more defensively, and I understand from the tactical point of view, you know, just losing Bergvall, you know, you don't want to cause any more injuries. Our squad is thin. I understand that. But from a perspective of how I've seen this season and how many points we have dropped, and we've decided to play this sit back game, and we haven't actually resulted in any clean sheets from this drop black. I was a bit disappointed, but then again, I understand why we done it. But that's all I'm going to say about the Dortmund game. I thought it was I'm going to give props to Frank. Frank got it right. He definitely got it right to not include Tell and to play Solanke, because ultimately Solanke scored. But yeah,
But guys, before you talk about not including Tell in the squad, right, for the Champions League, is because I think there is a clause that you can change
Big up,
that.
big up.
You're still
Oh,
right.
I'm still loud. Big up, big up, big
Yeah.
up,
Okay, that's
big
good.
up. And Anthony, what's up, man?
So-
How you been, man?
so-
Hopefully you're well.
Yeah. So
But
that's a part of it, that what happened at Dortmund is his hands were forced, right? Because midfielders, he didn't have Paulinho, he couldn't bring in Bissouma, and Conor Gallagher, they're all cup tied. If we get through the group stages, right? To go into group stages, I think we should, right? Unless we fall into the playoffs. That depends on the Frankfurt game coming up too, right? Then he might re-register these players in again. You know what I'm saying? Since Bergvall can't play, so he needs to fill up some spots. And as for Tell, I'm not sure, right? With Richarlison out, maybe he will come back in the new reform registrations for the next round.
But
Right?
why would Tell? But why? Sorry, just to add on to what you're saying, why would Tell want to be a part of this Tottenham team when he's decided to come and commit his future to Tottenham to get more game time, and he's not being featured much? He's been sold a lie, in my opinion.
He will be featured more now, because look at our squad, right? We can't sell him unless we replace him, but we've not seen any movement at all for an attacking goal-scoring forward or a striker to say in the transfer window. Or we do not know. Maybe something is happening in the backgrounds, right? But Spurs rumors nowadays have dried up. It's not like I think Levy era is gone. Remember, during Levy era, we are linked to like 3,000 players at one time.
Yeah.
This is the Lewis era. Lewis era is that we ain't linked to anyone. So
There could be another left back coming.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
How's your mic is
Yeah, I was going to say about Dortmund. Yeah, like obviously just going off what you said about.
how's your
mic
mic is
is
messed up? How's your mic
mic.
is messed up?
let's check my.
Is it better now?
Yeah. Nah. Disconnect your mic and
Exactly.
disconnect your mic and then what is it called? Reconnect. While you do that, Andy Robinson, let's talk about that, yeah. What do you think about us being linked to him, or if it's confirmed, if it's here we go? I actually think he's a good he would be a good
Oh,
signing
he'll
for
be a good,
Tottenham, in my
he'll be a
opinion.
good addition, but the problem is that there might be a hidden clause in his contract to say that, you know, Van der Ven will be going over in the summer. We sign him. I don't know. Maybe there's a deal being brokered at the moment, but for the quality, I'll be happy because he'll be much better than Ben Davis. But to tell the truth, I don't see Ben Davis coming back from the next injury. If he does, yeah, it looks quite, you know, serious and all that for him to heal. But he'll be more
Yeah.
focused in trying to get himself into the World Cup, right? So
Can you hear
that's
me
the
now?
thing.
Can you hear me now?
We
It's
can
better
hear you
now?
perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah, much better.
Alright. It was my turn after what happened with you earlier.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
like, so I was going to say, on regards to Solanke, to go off of that, I think he made a big difference in the sense that we've not had really anyone strong and like powerful up there all season. Really, I'm not saying he was
True.
amazing, but I felt a lot more comfortable watching us play the ball forward to someone like him rather than Richarlison, who just doesn't really hold on to the ball much. And Moani's, I mean, he's another story. But and so like also I think the wide players were the massive difference though. Obviously TJ mentioned Spence, but I thought Odegaard, despite also his 2 assists, I thought he made a massive difference on the night. Like I think he was our man of the match actually in the end.
He was electric on the right side, yeah. He was.
Yeah.
Overall,
And out of all the young players, I think he's the one I probably think we should keep, along with maybe Bergvall. The other ones, I'm not so keen on. Gray. I mean, me and T just spoke about Gray before the game, and like Tell, I just don't think like we can't keep all of them. So I think we start cutting them in the summer. But I think the difference was obviously the attacking football, but also I have a theory that because we play in Europe and our players are not as physical, like if you compare our midfielders to say Newcastle's midfielders, then it's not as physical. So I think we get more joy in Europe because the teams we play are not as physical. So maybe that's the factor that, you know, Gray and Bergvall kind of got away with not being as like stocky. It's like, say, if they play in the Premier League, they get absolutely just dominated, really.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that after the game because I was talking to my dad about it. He was like, "Why do we do so well in Europe, but in the Premier League we're really struggling?" Well, maybe that's a factor. I don't know. But obviously, I'm happy we won. Now we have to go to Frankfurt and obviously finish off the job really. So, yeah, TJ, what were you going to say?
I in fact, sorry, my bro. You know what I'm doing behind camera, innit? Like, basically, obviously, PR has said that I can't be doing what I do on camera, innit? So PR basically has to, like, the camera has to go. Yeah, but what I was saying, yeah, no, we were speaking about Archie Gray, but in our pre-match PR, HMRC,
Personal
like
relations.
PR, personal relations, yeah, making sure
Personal
that I'm making sure that I'm not gonna get anybody cancelled. That's yeah. I'm the changed man. I promise you. Like I said, Eugene, we've been streaming for nearly 3 years or 2 years now. Yeah. I've always said I'm going to upload on my channel every single time I come on this channel. Yeah. And I do a live stream. 2026, I actually made a kind of like bond with myself, and I said, look, this year I'm taking it very seriously. And now I'm taking it seriously. You're gonna see a person that is not missing about. This when I put my head into something, I go full throttle in it. Full throttle in it.
That's good.
So
that's good.
Obviously that's just my mindset. I'm a very motivated person when I want to be motivated. When it don't really, like, when I'm like, yeah, I will, I'm lying to you, innit? Put it like that. You know what I'm talking about? I've been lying to you for like 2-3 years saying, yeah, I will upload. Yeah, I will. Realistically, I didn't have the passion for it. But now, look, I'm uploading. So going back to what you were saying, going back to what you were saying, I was getting sidetracked. We were talking about Archie Gray before the game, right? This will give. Look, when we've already said we're not big fans of him, we definitely need to nurture these players, and obviously he needs more experience as a player. He's young still. Wouldn't this give him a bit of confidence that he can perform at such a high level against a difficult side? I don't know what was with Dortmund, because we were all over them. We dominated. Let's factually say it how
Even
it is.
before the sending off.
Yeah, we were
Even
better
before,
team.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Even before the sending off,
Right.
anybody that says
It was a
Go
very
for it.
simple thing, right? It was just a change of style of play. Yes, in that first half, right? We pressed, we really pressed, right? We pressed intelligently. So I think someone, maybe, I don't know, maybe Heitinger has come in and he's been able to mentally change the wavelength of the players, and they're understanding each other more. Yes, maybe that's that's the thing. But this is one game, all right?
Yeah.
This is a game when the manager was under so much pressure, right? And he's been telling us a lot of things, Now we know that he has lunch 3 times a week with Vinay.
Yeah.
You get
3 times a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has lunch with Vinay 3 times a week. He said it on his interviews.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's
I didn't
nice.
see that. Sorry.
Yeah. So that means
Maybe
I
go to
don't
a
know.
nice restaurant probably 3 times a week. Sounds like to me.
no,
Indeed.
I think they'll call takeout and eat in the office or something like that.
A sandwich,
Yeah.
a sandwich in the office. Yeah. But
but guys,
yeah. So like
this Dortmund game, we were all, we gave up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This guys, don't you remember this feeling like last season during that Frankfurt game? We all gave up, right? We were gonna go to Frankfurt and get smashed, right?
Yeah.
And we won. But this is in the early stages of the Champions League, right? It's 8 games, 7 games coming in. It's a good start for Frank. A lot of people are very positive again, and I hear that his position has been a little bit more secure, right? But if we can move on from the Dortmund game, I think the next game, what's the next subject? If not, we have to go straight to the Burnley game.
Well, no, before we go to Burnley, I want to speak briefly about Robertson, because that was like today's news. So Mark, do you want to start with this one? Because obviously you brought it up as well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the move in general? Just say what you want.
If it's true, I've read bits and pieces. I've seen something that says it's very close and it could be done by Monday. Listen, people bang on about youngsters in the team. I think this team needs someone like an Andy Robertson, who's been there and seen it and done it with Liverpool. Scottish international. Obviously, he's not getting game time at Liverpool, so he's looking about. He wants to be involved in the World Cup.
Scotland's in the World Cup.
You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
listen, there's a lot of people out there who go, "Oh, we're one extreme to the other. We're going buying old men now." Do you know what I mean? He's 31. But listen, I ain't being funny. With the situation we've got on our left side at the moment, right? I know he's not a left winger. But he can get down the wing. As you've seen for Liverpool, he puts in very good crosses. He doesn't need to beat a man to do that either. He can be very intelligent, just find the space, ball into him, whether it be coming back first time and in, but he can attack down the wing as well. It's just a case of him. Hopefully he'd stay fit. I don't really see any negatives with it, to be quite honest with you. I really don't.
True.
I mean, the thing is, Mark, I think he ticks a lot of boxes for us because he's a Premier League winner. He's got experience of his age. He's a left back, so we need a left back. He's crossing, but I think the reason people are I'm not against it. I agree with you. I think it's a good move for us because considering the time of the year, it's January as well. But I think it's because now people are fixated on buying a certain profile player, and they just can't understand that. Maybe we need someone with a bit of experience, especially with Udogie. And maybe the long-term thinking is, and I was thinking this on the train on the way back actually, is say we bring in Robertson and we have Robertson and Udogie for 2 years. then say hopefully, fingers crossed, Udogie matures, then Udogie becomes like the mainstay, and then you go out and buy a younger player to behind him, right? So I think it's a good move because he ticks like a lot of boxes, and yeah, I think it's a brilliant move. TJ,
can you bring up that comment before I go on? Can you bring up that comment from Cows?
Yeah.
So there's been talk of Vicario and Destiny leaving. Maybe next season we go for Robbo and Sousa at left back. Look, let me be honest with you, Vicario. I've not been a big fan of Vicario. I would love him to go. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, he makes too many mistakes. And you know what? The thing with Vicario, a lot of people don't understand this. Saving the goal is his job. Like, like actually saving, that's his job. But there's so many problems in terms of like his kicking, his catching, his positioning, his demand, he blames other players for his mistake, his whinging, his whining. And I hate the fact that, look, at the start, I liked it when he came out and he said he's sorry, he needs to be better and this. But when you constantly say sorry after sorry after sorry, it becomes a thing where you just don't really care, to be honest with you. At least say sorry when you actually mean it. Actions mean more than words. That's how I was raised. But on Vicario, I wouldn't mind getting him leaving. Destiny and Udogie, I can understand why the club would want Destiny Udogie to go. Because firstly, his injuries are just it's becoming a very, very bad. It's like Sessegnon, when you have a player that just doesn't play, there's no point of you having him. As much as how good he is, he needs to be on the pitch. And if he's not on the pitch, there's no point. And we're not a team that can actually be like, okay, cool. Like a Chelsea, for example, if Reece James was injured, right? They have other players in place to actually perform at a certain level. We're not that team. When Udogie goes missing, we are missing. Put it like that. So I can understand from the club's perspective. And going back onto now the actual main point, Robinson, I actually think it's a good signing for Tottenham. He comes with experience. He knows the Prem. He understands what it takes to be a Premier League player. There's no embedding period. He's been doing it for many years. I think 4 years, 3 years, however long he's been at Liverpool for. I actually think it should be a move that we should do. There's only a big concern. There's a but in it. The reason why I'm very scared of this move, if we're doing deals with Liverpool, that means Van der Ven is gone to Liverpool.
There's already talk of that already going him.
So for me, if
Liverpool pays £100 million, right, take him, right, bring back Vuskovic, right. I feel we have enough.
Okay, so
if the money is
I agree. No, but see, I agree. Van der Ven, the money talks, but when you sell he is our best defender in my opinion right now. He's our best player, right? And for me, I think 100 million is pennies.
No, is that true?
I think 100 million is not worth it.
No,
in my opinion.
If he doesn't want to be here, he has to go. Guys, we cannot be attached to players. That's the problem of being a Spurs fan. If you get attached to players, you will never win the league. Right? We need players who want to be here. Right? Van der Ven, if he wants to be here, he will be here. I can tell you the truth, right? Van der Ven doesn't want to be here, right? Because he's heartbroken. You get what I'm saying? He misses Ange.
It's true. You're right. If a player doesn't want to be at Tottenham, ultimately they should go. Yeah, I agree with that statement, Eugene. I can't argue with that. It's just my concern is our quality. If we're saying Van der Ven is the quality that we want at our squad and we're getting rid of them,
then
as much as we've got young Vasovic and all of these players, Danso and all of this, right? The quality of the team. Sorry, go for it.
Take that Van der Ven money, go out there and buy a 28-year-old solid, proven defender.
But see, this is my concern. My concern with this deal. I'm not saying we shouldn't sell it. I'm saying 100 million is not enough. 100 million. I feel like if we're looking at transfers like Wirtz is like, I'm saying we should get more than 100 million. I think Van de Ven is worth more than 100 million for Tottenham's sake. I think he's worth more than 100 million, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. We all think that too. But to tell the truth, right? The market.
You're talking about age. You're also talking about age. You're talking about. No, but see, look, this is the thing. When we sold Harry Kane is at that latter stage of his career. Yeah, we know the quality of Kane, right? But we're not selling him young. We're selling someone at their peak. So for me, 100 million is a bargain for Liverpool, in my opinion. I would be quoting 150 realistically. If another 50 comes in, I would let him go. That's just my honest opinion. Again, my opinion might be wrong, but I would be willing to let go of Van de Ven for 150.
100 million. TJ will sell Van de Ven for 150 million. Cookie, will you sell Van de Ven?
Listen, if I love Van de Ven, right? I was watching him at Wolfsburg at the beginning of his career there. You could tell he was a Tottenham type of player, if you like. And when we went in for him, it was him and Tapsoba, if you remember.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone was banging on about Tapsoba, but I wanted Van de Ven. So I love him. I've got my shirt in there with his name on the back. I think it's fantastic. He's got a lot to learn still. Don't get me wrong. But I just think, as well as being an athlete, he can play football. Do you know what I mean? So he's got a bit of both going on there. He's got it up here as well. He's not silly, but at the same time, I'm pretty much with you guys. If you don't want to be here, if you don't think the club's going where you want it to go, because at the end of the day, he wants to win medals. He wants to win trophies. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather he be honest and come out and say, look, I don't want to be here because, the club's not matching my ambition. Yeah. And if he goes, he goes. What can you do? I mean, you have to remember as well, we're not sort of 7th, 6th, 5th, whether you think that's where we should be or not, right? We're not there. We're not that team that's at the moment trying to break into the Champions League spots in the league, right? So he's already thinking, hang on a minute, next season, no European football. If Spurs sell him for 100 million, they've made nearly 60 million quid on him at the end of the day, right? And for someone who, if he really doesn't want to be here and he makes it clear that is the case, then sell him. But at the same time, you can look at it from the other way as well and look at them upstairs and say, well, are they matching the ambition then? Do you know what I mean? By letting him go.
That's fair.
But do we then wheel the next one in Vuskovic and say, just carry on there, mate? I don't know. We've got Danzo. Rumours about Dragusin wanting to go as well. So it's very difficult when you're in the position that we are. When you are 14th and struggling in the league. Yeah. When you are there, though, it's very difficult to keep a squad happy, and we are a bloated squad as usual. With I don't know when you put the players that are injured into it as well. We've probably got 14, 15 what you would call first team players that every week they're sort of they're the ones. Well, all the others, we keep banging on about bringing players in, but we ain't getting rid of no one.
True.
We're not loaning anyone out. We're not selling anyone. Do you know what I mean? We're not making room.
We can't tell anyone. You know why? Half the bloody squad is injured.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah. I know. It's mad, isn't it?
On Van de Ven though, like
Yeah.
he was a Liverpool fan growing up, so I think there is something in that. Because obviously he's been
Bang
struggling with
on.
Liverpool.
Good well.
Bang on, it's the
so-
history of the
Listen,
Tottenham.
Listen,
Yeah.
can I
It's
just
the
say,
history of the Tottenham.
can I just say,
That's
right?
golden.
Let
Yeah,
me just say, you know, we all want to be up in the heady heights, right? But at the moment, we've got players that are average, yeah, and on a good day, above average. We've got
Yeah.
one player who's very good most weeks. And when you're where we are, the player that stands out most weeks, yeah, forget about the few mistakes he's made and his gob and what he's got going on with Frank. Just as a player on the pitch, he's levels and he's still learning. This is the thing, you see. He's learning, but he learns quick. It's difficult. It's a difficult one. It really is a difficult one. But I think he knows, like just in your message that you put up there, he knows he's not necessarily a special talent, but he knows his levels above what he's playing with and what they're bringing
Well,
in.
that's ambition. But that's ambition.
Of
I don't
course.
blame.
Because
So let me turn on my camera quickly. Hold on. Hold on
This
1
is
minute.
what's going to happen in summer, right?
Yeah.
Robertson will
Go
come,
for it.
and more or less there is an understanding that VDV will go to Liverpool, and all of a sudden, right, Real Madrid will pick up their phone. Mickey, would you want to
More than
come?
likely.
I think he
Mickey
wants
will-
to actually go to Liverpool, though, Eugene. I think from what I read, he's always a Liverpool fan growing up, and Liverpool is like a
Okay.
legacy club. So, like when
Oh.
Buemo in the summer, of course, we had
was a
Frank
Manchester
and we were
United,
linked with
yeah.
him. He went to United because he was probably a United fan growing up or something. And unfortunately, United and Liverpool still have that legacy.
But that plays a part.
attraction.
That plays a
Yeah,
part in choosing your team when you've been failing for so long. Obviously, last year was when we won a cup, you know. But when your team hasn't won any silverware for so long, and you have to look at it from the players' ambitions, because remember, it's a job. You know, when a company's failing, put it like this: when a company's failing, you don't want to be at that company. Put it like that. You would want to, I would assume we all have ambitions to be better than what we currently are, right? So in Van der Ven's situation, he wants to leave, right? But see, the thing is, when I'm going to link two situations together, and I know it's got two different connotations. When Romero signed the contract and he done that thing where he called out the ownership, then you had a bit of the fan base being like, yeah, you keep it in-house. So you can't work both ways. It's either you accept what they put out and say, take it for what it is. So when Romero called the ownership liars, this is why, this is the reason. The reason is we've been run so poorly from the top downwards. Our assets don't actually want to be at the club that they have signed to. And I guarantee you, if you... Go for it.
Yeah, once you're done, I was gonna say, like, obviously, you didn't grow up watching '90s Tottenham, right, or late '90s Tottenham.
No,
I did.
Yeah.
So this is where the reality is. This is where kind of we are again. And this
It's
is when,
deja
like,
vu. Right? It's deja vu.
Now, when Campbell left, and there's other players that left, it's because the club was in a rubbish place. Like, why would you want to stay on a club that doesn't look like it has any direction? It doesn't look like, don't know. We don't even know what we're doing. Of course, you heard the reports that upstairs they don't know what they're doing. Basically, I don't know if you saw that tweet from Marcus Buckland.
Yeah.
So why would you want to stay somewhere where you don't know where the club is going? Like we don't. We're fans, yeah. We don't even know where we're going. This is the problem.
True.
So like, there's no plan. So it's not like they can go to Van der Ven and say, because they've never done this, we want to win the league in like 2-3 years, as an example, and then in the summer go and buy, I don't know, 4 top players, right? Because we don't do that. So Van der Ven is following Kane's route. Yeah.
Just mute Mark for a minute.
He's following, you know.
Try and pop in a minute.
Yeah, it has just. Oh, he's back anyway, and he's back anyway.
Yeah.
No, what I was saying.
Sorry,
what I was saying. You're right. You're right. When there's no direction, and look, and it speaks volume, because when I was speaking to that Liverpool fan at the Dortmund game, you know, just before the Dortmund game, I was interviewing. It was a Liverpool fan. He made a very interesting point. He said he said, after last year, you've dropped off. You know, he didn't expect Ange to. He said, if you were going to sack Ange, whether I'm not bringing this conversation back, we've had many times the same conversation with Ange, and I'm not. I'm just making the statement what this Liverpool fan brought up. He said, you decided to sack Ange, someone that has won you a trophy. You know, now the ambition to sack him, for me, was, if you're going to sack him, you bring in a manager that has the credentials to take us to the next step, right? But what he said he doesn't even know if this is even a good manager for us, you know, because he was saying he's as worse as Ange, but at least Ange has the trophies behind him. You know, the statement of he wins everywhere he goes and all of this, that's what he was mentioning, you know? And I had to agree with him, because realistically, when a player wants to leave Tottenham, it's because they want better for themselves, and they know they're better than what they are playing. And I guarantee you ask all of them players on the pitch, whether you think they're good or whether you think they're terrible, they believe they're better than what they are right now. So it comes down to the ownership. The ownership has only won 2 trophies in 26 years, because it's now 2026. 26 years, right? That just proves to me that the owners have no clue what they're doing.
Listen, I don't think after last season and the pragmatic football this season, to me, you could have a different style of manager that plays more attacking football regularly every week. Do you think we'd still be 14th? Maybe not. We might be slightly higher, than where we are now. But at the same time, I think TJ just hit the nail on the head. Over the I don't know how to explain it. Even during the Poch days, because for me, he was. I mean, if he was backed,
we wouldn't be in this situation.
We wouldn't be sitting here now. I honestly believe that. Because
Mark, we've had the conversations. Sorry to cut you out. I'm going to let you carry on. We had a conversation at the protest, and I said, look how far we have dropped. I made a statement saying we were so close to the Premier League title. We were so close to the Champions League title. If this ownership back this back Poch, we wouldn't be where we are right now. But yeah, you carry on with what you were saying, because for me, these owners don't know what they're doing.
Look, there's no until this fella's come in the last couple of 3 weeks. I think there was 12 board members and 12 board members with no experience of football whatsoever. Experience of business, yeah. So that then means that you're leaving Johan Lang to deal with outgoings and ingoings. He's a transfer man. If they can't do it, he's the director of football. So he's the next one down. Yeah. I think that the shit show that's gone on, everything that happened in the summer with Gibbs White and Eze, all that, I just think a lot of it's all smokescreen crap. I really do believe that sometimes. We don't do what we should be doing, right? We might have won the Europa League last year, and I'll say it again for everyone. Cheers, Ange. Thanks very much. But you also, for me, gave us a year of torture that year.
True.
Right? Every week coming on here, right? Saying the same thing over and over again about the Premier League, finishing 17th. We're dropping down the league. We're not doing this. And we know the conversations that's been had about, did he speak to Levy, say this, say that? Listen, at the end of the day, we're a football club. And people pay good money, right, to go and watch their football team, and to be, shown that dross last season, I think it's unforgivable. I really do. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, people might not agree with me because we won the Europa League. Yeah, great.
It's fair. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I know I'm
know?
ultimately agreeing with you, and I was one of the fans that said after the league, but I think it was more sentimental values, and it's also a factor that I'm younger than all three of you, yeah, and my only success has been last year. That's why I was obviously more of the positive mindset of, yeah, give him to the next season, you know? But if I could calculate that it would turn out to be like this next season, honestly, I would have ripped my head. I would have gone bold. I would have gone bold. Generally, I would have gone bold.
Yeah.
Because realistically,
To tell
well,
the
go
truth,
for it.
right?
Go for it. You know,
It's
Egypt.
okay. I'm gonna have my last few words before I leave.
Yeah.
3 a.m. Asia. It's all very simple, right? The club has been like this, right? If we have kept Ange, right, it would have united more of us if Ange was successful, right? This club divides us for whatever reason, right? So at this moment in time, right, if we let Ange continue and he screwed up, the whole fan base would have united and wanted Ange out, and that would show the united force. But somehow, like I said, this club doesn't want us to be united because that's how they conquer and rule, right? All they want is our money, right? Simple as that, right? And at this moment in time, the football being shown is the football being shown because we've gotten rid of past manager and now we've got Frank in, right? And the other thing I've seen, right, all these years, right, whenever the fans hound the manager out, right, guys, don't forget, right, when we sacked Poch, right, there was half of the fan base who wanted him out, right, because he kept losing games, but nobody gave him the sympathies that he didn't sign any players for 3 transfer windows. The owners weren't backing him, right, and it was the best excuse. It's like whenever the fan base makes a noise, the owners make a move. Jose, dreadful football, right? He was 6 days from a cup final, but then there was an internal struggle. Levy got involved that he wanted, more focus on the league, and Jose said, "No, I want to focus on the cup," and he got sacked. Then we bring in Nuno, right? And he was supposed to make us proud, right? Were we proud? No, he got sacked in 10 days. Why? Because the whole stadium was singing Levy out after the 3-0 Manchester loss, right? Then when we got Conte told us the truth. What did our fans do? Dinosaur football, blah, blah, blah. What wasn't attractive enough? The fans wanted him out. We sacked him too. Why? Because our club listened to the fans. Our football club are stupid people running the football club. You should never listen to the fans. You should follow your plan, right? But the problem is that our football club has never had a plan to win things, right? Remember, when Levy said, "We've got our Tottenham back," I became Ange don't care, right? I went on a rant and said that we haven't won the frigging league in 62 years. Why would I want this Tottenham? I want a new Tottenham, a Tottenham who start to win things, right? So when we start to win things, what do our owners do? We sack the manager who win things, right? So it brings us all back down again. So now our fan base wants Frank out.
Yeah.
I was sit here. I was Ange don't care. I'm Frank don't care. Right. The only time that I more or less swayed a bit to Frank out is when he was holding the Arsenal Cup. Right. Don't give me the stupid excuse that you didn't know what you were putting in your hands. Right. You get what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Now.
Big up.
Right. Big up, guys. Now, all I can say is, right, Mr. B, yeah, you're in here. Mr. B, Brentford is above us. Yeah. Steve, yeah, big up. Brentford, they're above us. Right? So, what can I say? We took their manager, right? And they're above us. So, now we've won the Dortmund game, right? We were front foot. We showed more aggression. We showed more intent. Yes, the players showed up. Okay. I don't know. Now the Burnley game has come up. For me, I'm going to make the Burnley prediction. Okay, before I go. All right, guys. If Frank stays with more or less the same formation, right? I would love him to still keep Udogi and Spence out there on the left. Okay. Bergwall is injured, bringing Gallagher to match up with Gray. All right. Lanky plays. Okay. And I guess our back line bring VDV back. I guess he's not suspended. Right. Take out Denzel. But I don't know. In that Dortmund game, right, with Denzel on the right and Romero on the left, right, we looked more solid. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Right. Udogi and Spence, right, has this understanding of interchanging because both of them are more or less fullbacks and wingbacks. So they're building some kind of a synergy going over there, right? Odobert most probably has been told, go out there and don't be afraid, right? Our front three has been looking like they've been afraid for a long time. You get what I'm saying? So now they've been given, heads up not to be afraid. Xavi, I'm not sure whether he'll play. He could be injured. Then it comes to the conundrum is that we don't have a playmaker. So I don't know. But I've been hearing reports that he might be able to play. All right. If we play the more or less that team against Dortmund, I think we will win easily. 3-1, 2-0. Right. But if he reverts back, right, and puts in Paulinia and Bissouma and play back that kind of holding solid, kind of formation, right? And take back Spence, take Spence out, put back Tell on the left. Guys, best to best will draw. All right, that's my prediction. And guys,
before you go, guys, like, subscribe to all of our channels. I'll link it in the description after this video is posted, but I'll also link it in the chat. So carry on hitting the like and carry on subscribing. These lives are not easy. Big up Eugen, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Eugen,
you need to come to London one day, man. Come to a protest one, maybe.
You stay online.
Yeah.
I haven't even had time to talk to you about the protest, right, DJ? Usually we used to do this protest a lot all the time whenever there's a protest. But last week, because I had the Singapore Spurs guys come down, we played a football match. We played the match viewing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But can I say, Eugen, I'm so glad that we didn't do the stream for the protest because Mark was there, Haz is there. It was absolutely nonsense. Nonsense, waste of time, waste of effort. And in all fairness, it's never a waste of time and waste of effort. But for someone to travel like Mark, from Timbuktu to
he came like 5 hours, 6 hours.
Man, it was such a disappointing protest. Disappointing protest, man.
Protest, right? To tell the truth, right? Disappointing and not disappointing, right? I've been doing this protest watch along from day one. You ask.
Yeah, you were the original founders.
I did the protest when Daigle was standing in the cold, right? Right. What, 2 people outside Hotspur Way?
Was it him and Ryan?
Yeah, him and Ryan. Yeah, he and Ryan. And sometimes Graham come over. People will just come over, give him hot coffee, mittens, warm him up, right? And every time Levy will leave when he's looking away, slide off the back door or some shit like that. But in the end of the day, right? That was one of the protests I remember. Conte was there, right?
Yeah, that's when they signed Bentko Kulusevski on the last day.
Yes,
remember?
and for the full 30 days, right? There was no signing, no news, and nothing. And on the 31st day, he signs Benny and Decky, right? And that season, we beat Arsenal to the 4th spot. My God, it was one of the fun seasons. That was one of the fun seasons. And then, of course, being Tottenham Hotspur, we blow it all up and we start all over again. All right, guys, take care, mate. All right, Cookie. Good night. Oh, good morning.
Good night. Oh, yeah, good night. Yeah, good night.
Yeah, man. No, big up Eugen, man. Yeah, carry on subscribing to him, man. He's one of the reasons why I'm actually doing content right now. And you know what? Like, people like Brian Daigle, Eugen, has been part of my growth in it. So support their channel, man. It's not easy. I promise you, it's not easy. I've realized these past 3 weeks, it's not easy. It may seem like it's easy for people that are just watching, but the time, the effort, even up to an hour ago. I've got a video processing right now to be launched probably tomorrow, so it's gonna come out tomorrow. So I'm not gonna I'm gonna let this live stream settle before I post the next video. But it's time consuming.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Burnley, Mark?
I think all the team, what he puts out, I think it might be quite different to what we saw the other night. I believe that he'll bring Basuma back in to play as a DM. Yeah, I think he'll play Conor Gallagher in the 8. If Xavi's fit, I'd play Xavi in the 10. If he's not, to me, if he's not, and he's like, you know, because we all know from our football past, normally, you know, players are very rarely 100% fit. They're always carrying a knock or you know what I mean? But apparently he had a couple of injections in his ankle before the game, and then you saw it after he'd come off. So whether they want to keep putting him through the injection scenario to keep him playing, you know, I don't know. Perhaps this is the time when, you know, and people will probably call me for this, but to me, you know, attacking midfielder away to Burnley,
Yeah.
William Barnett a go.
I'm surprised he didn't get any game time in the Dortmund game. I'm surprised he didn't feature at all, you know. But yeah, I'm on the same board as you. We definitely need to start playing because our squad is thin. We don't have realistically our midfield, and now I was actually saying I'm gonna okay, cool, guys. This is a bit of like a I don't know, a blooper or something special before you can watch my actual video, because I didn't really want to talk about it. But it actually makes this Conor Gallagher signing turn into a world-class signing, because without Conor Gallagher, he can play an attacking midfielder role, he can play in the 8 role, he can play in the midfielder role. He is actually, now I'm actually looking back at why we signed Conor Gallagher, what we needed in my opinion. People are going to disagree because we could have brought in a ball playing midfielder, which I understand, but it makes Conor Gallagher signing so important because Palhinha's out, Bentancur's out, you know, who else is out? Bergvall is out, you know. We don't have much options. Obviously, Papa Sarr's come back from the AFCON, but still, Conor Gallagher seems to be like a great signing for Tottenham, in my opinion. Now, do you guys agree, or do you think I'm?
We said that at the beginning.
Yeah, we did. You know, they might have done it the wrong way round, because you look at it and you think to yourself, well, everyone, like you say, was clamouring for a ball playing, you know, a midfielder, or an 8 that can, you know, dictate the game type of thing. Like you say, he can sort of play a bit of everywhere. He can play 10, he can play 8, he can sit if you want him to sit. Do you know what I mean, Gallagher? And I think he's a bit of a jigsaw. They've got it the wrong way round in the way that they've bought him, but he is part of that jigsaw, if that makes sense.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? So that's where I am with it. Listen, in the position that we're in at the moment, I think you've got to be out there looking for, regardless of age, you need to be looking for what I call seasoned Premier League professionals. Right? We are not at that stage where we go and buy or we approach players of top quality that are regularly playing and winning trophies. We're not there. We're just not there.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where you have to start somewhere. Say that again, Az?
Me and TJ were talking about this actually before the game. Do you remember my analogy?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like we either have to overpay for like top quality, which I don't see us doing. We need to go and buy like our level or try and get slightly better. and then
Yeah.
try and buy good players to fill positions and try and do what Villa do, basically. Like, you know, they built a squad. They're all about the same quality, but they're all good players. Problem with us is we have so many average players and like maybe one or two good ones, and obviously Van der Ven's in a different level. But like, so we need to kind of slowly increase the quality of the squad. We're not going to jump from 0 to 100 in reality, you know, from the level of youngsters we got to like the top players. We won't.
Yeah, it's all about levels, isn't it? It's all about levels now. Unfortunately, you know, putting the Europa League to one side, Tottenham's Premier League form has not been very good at the end of the day. And to me, I'm a bit old school. I know people say about the trophy, and I'm eternally grateful that I got to see Tottenham win the Europa League, you know, as I did in '84. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, getting old and all that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like we've fell. Since this is the point I was trying to get over. Since while Poch was there, but let's just go from when Poch finished, right? We got these managers in that are, I need this player for this position, Jose Conte, yeah. But they're managers that demand the best players, and then they'll go and win with the best players. So I couldn't understand why we employed them, really, because we are not the team that goes and does that.
100%.
You know, and I understand, you know, younger fans, oh, perhaps we're going to change now. Perhaps it's going to, you know what I mean? Listen, I've got to tell everyone, right? Unfortunately, until these owners go, nothing will change. You'll get the occasional. What'll happen is you'll get the occasional. You know how it works. You get the occasional one, right, that comes in, and you think, oh, that's decent, yeah. And then maybe another one will come, and you think, oh, we're building something here. Perhaps something's actually happening. You know what I mean? I was willing to give Enoch. I was willing to give Enoch last summer. And the January transfer window, we've got 9-10 days left, right? We're no better off, are we?
Okay, the question I will ask you then, if we bring in Robertson as well, plus Conor Gallagher, and Sousa, would you say Enoch has shown some sort of intent?
No, not at all.
Because unfortunately, Robertson's the kind of signing I would imagine we would make in the late 2000s, like early 2000s or late 90s. I remember we brought Christian Ziga, didn't we, from like Liverpool or something? Like that sort of signing where you bind the cast-offs of like, you know, aging players. Like the older team, like that's top team.
But isn't it funny, right? We're talking about a left back here with experience, right? Like a lot of experience, and he's a Liverpool cast-off, but he'd probably go straight into our team.
100%. He'll be our best fullback, in my opinion.
But he's their cast-off. It's no good for them.
But that's what I was saying to you the other day about how we're going for scraps. Like 2 years ago, Conor Gallagher, I would have said no to. Now I'm saying it's a world-class signing. Because realistically, right now, the standard of Tottenham is not where we want it to be. Nowhere near. So it's making players like Conor Gallagher look like world-class signings. And even up to Andy Robinson, in my opinion, he will be our best fullback. He comes with experience. He comes with class as well. He's been and done it at the highest of levels. There's not one player that has that. Maybe we can argue that Romero, due to like his national success and all of this, but there's not a player that we have in our current setup. And okay, we have Conor Gallagher now. He's done and won things, right? But we don't have that many players that actually know what success is. And bringing in someone like Andy Robinson would for me personally be a big improvement to our squad.
Yeah.
Now it goes back down to the question: if we do get this Andy Robinson over the line, have I seen a change for Enoch? Not particularly, no. Because yes, one thing is we've brought players that have improved off massively, and I'm not going to sit here and flip flop. However, there's so many other things that are going wrong with Tottenham on and off the pitch that simply haven't been addressed. Like when I was doing the interviews before the Dortmund game, one of the questions I had pre-written in terms of, let me jump on the camera. Sorry, one of the questions I had pre-written, yeah, was how is Frank still in a job? I didn't have one Tottenham fan, true Tottenham, and I'd done around 20, had around 20 conversations with many fans, and even after the game, I went into the Cultures of Horses, to watch the game. Literally, I didn't have one fan say Frank is here for this and this. Everybody said they were surprised he's still in a job, which for me, if our fan base have actively all said Frank is not it, how can't our owners not see it?
Should I tell you what it
my
is?
question I'm going to ask you guys.
So Vinay was at Arsenal. He stuck with Arteta a long time, even when they were finishing. I can't remember where he finished in the first season, but it wasn't very high. Like
I think
kind
8-2-7, wasn't it? 8-2-7.
Like yeah.
And
bear in mind,
yeah, go on.
And bear in mind, Arsenal fan base have way higher expectations of their club than we do of ours. Like, talking to most of our fans, they'll be happy we finish top 6 every year, maybe, and the odd trophy. Arsenal fans, they came from the Invincibles to where they are now, in the sense that it took them 20 years to get back to where they were, sort of. I mean, I don't know if this team is as good as the Invincibles, but they demand success. The Arsenal fans demand success, hence why the Kroenkes protests with thousands and thousands of people, whilst ours had 200. And obviously,
it wasn't even 200. It wasn't even 200.
Listen,
it was less,
that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is that the expectation of Arsenal was a lot higher, but he still stuck with Arteta despite every Arsenal fan.
I know.
Peter wanted Arteta gone. So I think Vinay is doing the same thing now with Frank, because maybe he had some part to do with the appointment. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't, because him and Levy were together for like a period when Frank came in. And maybe this is what he's doing it for. I mean, and also I know most people are against Frank, and I basically sells Frank out on your video, but I don't think you can go through this painful rebuild without the pain. And unfortunately, because we've fallen so far, like we're really, really far back from where we should.
Hit the nail on the head. You just hit the nail on the head, Has. Sorry, I'm not going to butt in on what you're saying, but we've fallen so far. That is exactly in standard of player. Yeah, it's almost been drummed into us since Poch. Yeah, this is the standard we're at, and it's going like that and like that and like that. The actual standard of the overall players that are in the team, and that is it. Exactly what you just said. Sorry to butt in.
Yeah, that's okay. So, like, we need to understand that for us to get all the way back up, which is what I tried to explain to TJ before, is you can't jump from 17th to 1st. Like, you can't start buying the teams, the players that the top teams buy. So you need to try and get to where, for example, where like Brighton are, and then where Villa are, and then try and make that last step to where obviously Arsenal are.
I agree. I agree with that.
That might take you 3 or 4 years. It took us, I remember, under Martin Jol to Redknapp was 5 years getting into the top 4 for the first time, bearing on that timeline. So this
I agree with that.
To be fixed. So
I agree with that. The only thing is that is flawed in the argument is when I done my interviews, not one was saying Frank is the right manager, which means even if we give Frank 3 years, nobody is certain that Frank is this manager to take us to the future. Now, for me personally, it's obvious that the fans, okay, I don't know about after the Dortmund game. A lot of people are flip-flop and all this. I've ultimately said I'm still Frank out because one game can't determine everything I've just seen, you know? Maybe if he picks up results, maybe I will maybe change and say, look, cool, we're not going to sack him, so we just give him for the season, right? However, The problem is, if you're giving a manager 3 years, I expect Enoch to back him. Now, would you say with the signings that we have actually brought in, Andy Robinson is not confirmed yet, but it looks like it's more likely going to happen, right?
Mhm.
Andy Robertson, Conor Gallagher, and Suso. Is that Tottenham backing Frank? That's the question I'm going to ask you guys.
I mean, somewhat. But what I'm saying is the club. I'm saying you, because you said about the fans. You asked me if the club, why is the club sticking by him? I think they're sticking by
Yeah.
him for a lot of reasons. One, because Vinay did it with Arteta, so I think he's maybe of the same thinking. Two, because
Yeah.
short term, there's no managers, pretty much. Like, who are we going to
Okay.
get now? Carrick's gone to United. Three, if they're going to get another manager, you're better off waiting till the summer, because after the World Cup, because you've got so many more options after there. So there's no point in sacking him now. And three,
True.
you might not be able to get a better manager. I hate to say it, but we're in the position we're in.
Then Frank,
Who's-
100%.
who's
But
the-
what it goes back down
who's
to the
the-
question I'm asking: is the signings we're bringing into the club backing Frank? I want to
I'd
know.
say
I want to know
somewhat.
where you're
I think
somewhat.
But the only issue is that if we got in one more, I'd be like, yeah, they are. So
Then
if we
yeah,
got in
he
another
is.
Attacker.
What about
for
you,
example,
Mark?
it
Hold on,
might not
before
be the
you go on,
backing
what about you?
want or I want, but this is the level of player, unfortunately, we're going to be getting now. So I'm not saying I
Mark,
agree with
what's
it.
your
but this is
opinion about
where
it?
we are. Anyway,
I don't know if back's the right word, because I don't believe Frank will be here after the summer anyway. I almost think he's a stepping stone, and I think the type of players that we're buying, especially people like Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher's the type of player who'd play under anyone. It doesn't
Okay.
matter who the manager is. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
I don't know if these, all this about, like, we had it all last year with Ange, didn't we? Is it an Ange signing? Is it a club signing? Is it this? Is it? Listen, Tottenham are still working in mysterious ways, right? They come out at the beginning of the season and go, yeah, we've got an £150 million war chest. We're going to change everything. We want to do this and we want to do that. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right? We've sold Brennan Johnson, bought Gallagher in for the same money pretty much, bought Sousa for 13 million, and might get Andy Robertson for, what's he going to be? How much is he going to be? 5 million?
Because he's got, like, what is it, 6 months left on his contract, I think.
He's not going to be a lot, is he? He's not going to be a lot.
Like 10 million maybe at most.
Maybe that, 10 million quid, something like that. Well, we've got a week and a bit left, and there's no other rumours. There's nothing. There's nothing out there.
So then this is why I'm banging on this transfer thing, because Hans, me and you had a conversation after before the game. Going back to what we were saying, how can you buy players for a manager that's not going to be here? But then again, if you see it from the other side of things, you could easily say Conor Gallagher, Andy Robinson. Okay, Sousa is a young player, but he fits the mold of Frank, because I remember the same comments when I was saying I didn't want Frank in. Frank works with young players. He's able to turn them into quality, and his track record is undeniable. Like, if you actually look at the players he's actually managed and what they've gone and done, yeah, maybe not massively, but we use players like Mbemo, for example, and there's many players that Frank has worked under. But in terms of, like, the players that we're bringing in, you can look at from the perspective of, we are actually backing Frank. So maybe this might be as you said, has a 3-year process. But then
I'm not saying, but what thing is, TJ, I've always maintained this. I don't know if you made it clear, but I don't see Frank as like the end game manager. What I'm saying is,
of course,
we might need him.
No.
We might need him for like 2-3 years to stabilize us, say, in the top 10, and then you go out and get
Exactly.
someone else, and then he takes us to the top 4, and you might even go get someone else, and he takes us to where we want to go. Because unfortunately, like I said, we've fallen so far. Like, we're 10 years behind. Not 10 years, maybe a bit less behind where we were under Poch. And bear in mind, the problem with our club is, we reminisce about Poch or Redknapp, like Redknapp's time. But a lot of those teams or squads, however you want to phrase it, they weren't, in my opinion, by design. Like a lot of it was kind of a lot of luck and by chance that certain players Spurs at a certain time, and we bought certain players at a certain time. For example, under Redknapp, Bale, Lennon, was it Huddleston? A lot of that team was actually the skeleton, at least, was Martin Yole's team. But then it took he came in say 3-4 years later, and Bale and Lennon were coming of age sort of thing, and then he added like 3 or 4 players, right? But this is not by design. It's not the club said this was our 5-year plan. And under Poch was the same thing. I hate to say this, but for example, Dembele was already there. Dembele was there. Most of that team was there. He only bought Alderweireld, and Trippier was like a backup, and like Dele. So he only really changed maybe 3 or 4 players in the 11 that was there in reality, and because our bench was really bad under Poch. So I'm not saying they were bad managers, but they just kind of also got lucky with the certain players that were there at a certain time. Because none of what happened with us at Spurs is by design. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that anything is by design. I think it's just certain times we had certain players, and then we bought certain players that added on to that, and then we got some semblance of a team. If that makes sense.
Listen, chaps, I've got to run because I've got a show at 8:00. But
no worries, my friend.
Let me just 3 things before I go. Just the Burnley score. We should be winning that game tomorrow, right? Even if he's got a skeleton squad again, and he's got to replace ones that he's got back from suspension or whatever with ones that are injured. Do you know what I mean? So however it works out, we should be beating Burnley tomorrow. If we got beat, would I be surprised?
No.
Not at all.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Not in the slightest. I think the other thing that I wanted to say was one thing that people associate Tottenham with is, I wouldn't say the gung-ho stuff we saw from Ange, but Tottenham fans like to watch attractive, attacking football, right? If you've got a manager that predominantly is pragmatic, and even if he says when he comes in, look, the first thing I'm going to do, people, is sort this defence out, stop us conceding goals, and I'll work my way forward, right? Number one, we haven't got the forward line that he can improve. Let's be honest about it. Moani ain't interested. Richarlison's crap. I'm sorry, but if you want to be better, Richarlison ain't it. He is a mid-table forward as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Right. So
better than Kolo Muani right now.
Listen, mate, he shouldn't even be here. He's not interested.
I'd rather you on the pitch than Muani, to be honest.
Bro, I'm a baller, bro. Yeah. I might be big, but I'm a baller. Don't get me started. I got a wicked left foot. I
used to have, not anymore. I struggle to walk down the road now. Jesus. Never mind. Anyway, what was I going to say? There's 3 things. Yeah, that was the
obvious.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry for.
That's all right. So we should be beating them anyway. So I'll go 3-1, something like that. Yeah, but again, wouldn't surprise me if we lose 1-0 or 2-1, or do you know what I mean? It's just it's just Spurs that. Spurs fans want attacking football. If Frank's not gonna be that man, we've seen what I would call proper good attacking half. That was against Dortmund, I thought, the first half.
100%. I want him, if he can do that every single game, if he can do that first half every single game, I don't mind getting behind Frank. I'll be so honest with you. It's just, for me, he hasn't shown that through the whole season.
Agreed. And this is what this is why they're booing him, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. But this is why they're booing him. I went to the West Ham game, as you lads know. That's where I met TJ before the game.
Yep.
25 years of not going in that stadium. The old stadium, since ENIC took over, because I knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I went in and watched that game. and you go in there and like, it's wow, look at this in here. This is magnificent. You know what I mean? And you can see where the money was spent on the stadium. Do you know what I mean? It's just out of this world in there. It's amazing. And you go up in there and it's all great. And do you know what? There's a London derby. I've had better atmospheres in 36,000 White Hart Lane, right? And I was in the South Stand as well. Yeah. And I was really shocked, apart from when we scored, yeah, and when Spurs fans were berating the ref, which in my opinion, they was quite entitled to do, because I thought the ref was shocking against West Ham, to be quite honest with you. But it's just not the same. To me, it's not the same. And, you know, I said I'd give ENIC a go this transfer window. And last summer, for me, Frank's just another one of them that's a dead man walking. And whether it's in a game's time, 2 games' time, 5 games' time, the end of the season, he'll be gone and someone else will be in, especially if he's playing pragmatic football. The fans won't have it. They won't have it. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
It's not
You know,
what
Mark,
Tottenham's associated
at
with.
the game, at the Dortmund game, when they read out his name, there was some booze at the stadium.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame. You know,
They go-
can I be
they
honest
buy
with you?
some
I
drinks and
I
lots
wouldn't
of
blame
booze.
them because, yeah, no, I wouldn't blame them because, from my perspective, interviewing a lot of fans outside the stadium, nobody could see why he was even still taking this match. A lot of them were still confused of, like, why is he still at Tottenham? He should have been sacked 48 hours ago. He should have been really sacked at half time. Let's make it make sense. Losing to West Ham and performing the way that first half. Look, fortunate. I said I didn't watch it, but I had to watch that back so I could actually see how that shit was. Because I couldn't watch. I got to like 38 minutes, you know, because I was doing interviews before for the West Ham game, so I didn't get to catch the first half. But I ended up watching that first half. He should have been sacked at half time, in my opinion.
It was shocking.
That was
mate.
unacceptable. That was unacceptable.
Was shocking, absolutely shocking. To be quite honest with you, I was quite disgusted, mate, at what I was watching for the 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought, you know, first time in there for a long time, and I just thought the standards have fell so low, like on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? We can all sit here and go, well, Xavi Simons is a good player, and this geezer's a good, and this one's, do you know what I mean? But when I look back, yeah, and I see the Poch teams, and I go back further, do you know, I can go back to Keith Birkinshaw, right back in the day when he had hard times at Tottenham. You know, in his first season, they went down. He was left out with Terry Neal's leftovers, and he struggled, really struggled. He went down, and luckily they bounced back up again, and that was the rebirth of Tottenham, coming back up from what is the Championship now, Division 1, back up. You know, and that's when the ball started rolling, winning the FA Cup, winning the UEFA Cup, those glory years for a good 3-4 years. Do you know what I mean? And to me, I look at our team now, and when I watched us against West Ham, I thought, do you know what? I'm watching these kids out here, and there ain't one special player out of all of them. I remember back in the day when we were shit, right? And I mean rubbish, but there was always one, a Ginola.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was always, I called them seat rattlers, because every time they got the ball, you expected, and you'd stand up off your seat and all you'd hear was the clatter of the seats going round the ground, because that player had received the ball. You were so expectant, you know. We ain't got that no more. I don't think we've got that no more. And, you know, it's such a shame, because Tottenham have always been renowned for, even if we ain't got a good team, there's always one in there. You know, you'd pay your admission money for to go and watch, you know, and we ain't even got that at the moment. But listen, you can only get your heads up, right? And you can only pray that, I don't know, that Hettinger coming in maybe because he likes to play on the front foot a bit more. You know, I almost looked at the Dortmund game and thought maybe it was Hettinger's tactics in the first half and Frank's in the second. You know, do you know what I mean?
The only thing that I would say about our new assistant head, he was poor at Ajax. He only won around 5 to 6 games. And personally, I didn't watch him, but from the research that I'd done, it was a poor manager choice for Ajax. So I don't know. I see. I don't know, man. We've got Frank, and then we've got a failure of another manager. It just, I don't know. I'm a bit lost, to be honest.
I think Poch will be back in the summer. I think Poch will be back in the summer.
I do hope so. I hope that's the end goal.
He's got to be back, though. He's got to be back. There's no point
I'm
coming
not saying
back under
back.
Enoch.
I'm just saying I think that's going to happen.
But you know what? You know what? If Poch comes back in, one thing that the fans will ultimately do will give him as much time as we can. In terms of I actually believe we'll give him more than a year personally, because I think it's a love factor. I also think it's like it's one of the things where we saw Poch not get back for 3 years, and look at how it started. Let's make it kind of right. It started from Poch. Since we sacked Poch, it's been downhill.
Yeah, quality of players gone this way.
Yeah. So for me, if Poch comes back in, I'm actually willing to give him longer than I would give any other manager, because I understand that Poch is Tottenham through and through. Firstly, he's made it clear he loves Tottenham. We know what we're getting. We should get behind Poch because he's Tottenham. Think about it. And that's why I'm hoping it's Poch. I think Poch will be a good a move that could actually unite all the fan base. You know, we have this crazy Ange in, Ange out, Frank in, Frank out. You know, Mourinho in, Mourinho out. Poch will unite the fan base, and at least when it goes wrong, I hope that we will be blaming the ownership personally.
Let me. My thing is with Poch, right? Just before I go, right? My thing is with Poch is that even though he didn't get us to the promised land and he made mistakes on the way, right? Number one, Enoch didn't back him.
True.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One of you tell me, if Enoch is still in charge, what's going to be different?
Nothing.
I don't
think. So what's the point of bringing him back?
I get what you're saying about the fan thing. I get that, TJ, that the fans will give him more time. But at the end of the day, all they're doing is giving him more time to a manager that's not going to be backed.
I agree. 100%.
So in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, we'll probably be having this conversation again, because even Pochettino can only upgrade players to a standard.
Yeah, I agree.
If your standard's like average now, you might get them to above average. It's still not good enough, for
what we want. Yeah. Exactly. It's true.
You know, we want consistency. We want our teams to be playing well and going out winning 4 out of 5 games, or only losing 1 in 10, and giving yourself a chance to be in the top 4. Do you know what I mean? Just
before you go, can I just make one last statement, because I know you're in a rush. I would love to have this conversation more deeper with you, you know. But just to add on to that, how I see it is, it will also be like beep beep, because I'm now I'm monetized, isn't it? You know, this is what happens, isn't it?
It won't get flagged. It won't get flagged.
Yeah. If they bring back Poch, they ultimately admit that they made a wrong decision, right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping, again, I don't know if all the fan base will feel the same way as me, but I'm hoping that at least if it was to go wrong, we're not going to blame Pochettino. We are going to call out this ownership, and instead of 200 people turning up to the protest, we're going to have nearly 56,000 people. I'm
There is
hoping that ends up happening.
There is that to
I-
it. Yeah.
I'm hoping that's why I'm holding on to this bit of me where it's saying if Poch comes back, we as a fan base will give him more time than we gave all the previous managers, because there's so many levels to what Poch means to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fair
that's all
dues.
I wanted
I
to.
understand
That's
that.
all I
You could
wanted to
argue
say.
that Poch will give the owners 2 more years, or maybe more. So you could argue in the
Yeah,
short
you could
term,
argue that. True.
appointing him might actually stop protests for a while, because people
No,
will be
I
living off
don't
the
think it will, because he only gets a certain amount of time in transfer windows, and at the end of the day, if he comes into the club, yeah, let's say like Jimmy says down there, well, if Potts come back, he wouldn't be available till July. They can still talk to him because they know he's coming. He signed his contract to start. Right, what do you need, Maurizio? What do you need? Look
What
at the
player?
team. What's most urgent to you? Yeah. They don't have to wait for him to turn up. It's their job to be finding players and scouting players. If they know he's coming now, they should be talking to him and saying, right, Maurizio, where do you want to strengthen? How do we know he hasn't said, get me Conor Gallagher? We don't know that. We know it probably doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? But he's got to be back to whoever comes in. It doesn't matter who they are. They've got to be back. If you want to go and get someone like a Conte or a Mourinho and make them your manager, don't expect them to upgrade your squad. Because every time there's a transfer window, they're going to say, right, I want this geezer for this position. I want this for this one. And over the next 2 years, you need to buy me 10 players. It's not Tottenham.
It's like when Jose said, I want Drogba, I want Duff,
Yeah.
We don't do that. We don't do that. Yeah.
We don't do it. It's just not us. Anyway, 2 more things before I go, chaps. Very interesting today on Johnny and Sean's channel, Football Inc. I don't know if you both watched it, 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, I didn't see today. But I know which channel.
Yeah, so for all the chat as well, they'll be interested in it. They've had a chap on today who was talking about the sports science at Tottenham. He's been involved with it. He's seeing what's happening. He's seeing how the medical team works. He's sort of an overseer without speaking. Do you know what I mean? Because he can advise the club how they can do things better. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Anyway, Sean and Johnny have had him on today. It was very, 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 what's the word when it's...
Damning.
Not so much damning. I forgot the word now. He's very informational, what he was telling us.
Okay, cool.
So
okay, cool. I thought you were... I never ended up watching it, so I don't know what... Yeah.
He'll tell you why things go wrong. He'll tell you about players that were in the red zones and why they will continue to be played. Stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot deeper than all that. So all I can say is, if anyone hasn't seen it, get over to Footballing, and I'm nothing to do with their channel. I just thought it was very interesting. I can't even remember the lad's name, but it was good anyway. Very good. Go and watch it. Get over to the 2 marks when these lads are finished. We've got a show going at 8 p.m. tonight.
We will refer you. We'll drop your link in the thing.
Welcome to jump on, lads, if you want to. I can send you the link. 8 o'clock tonight. Get over there. We'll have a chat. People coming on, so on, so forth, about everything. What was the last thing I was going to say? That was it. Big up to you, DJ. 1,000. Az is on the way to 1,000. We're on the way to 1,000. Let's all get
subscribe to everybody
and get merry going round. That's what I say.
Yeah, no, carry on subscribing. Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime. Love you loads, and I'll speak to you all soon. Big up to the chat.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care, Mark.
See you soon,
later, my friend.
Bye, everyone.
See you later. Yeah, no. Big up, Mark, man. I'll be honest with you, lovely guy. Met him the first time at the protest. I met the other Mark at the other protest. To be honest with you, both of them really,
Yeah,
really good, really Tottenham through and through. You know, you learn a lot from these. Well, I learn a lot from them. You know, because I never got to support Tottenham when they supported Tottenham, and it's amazing how they speak about Tottenham because it's like it's a different narrative when I speak about Tottenham. You know, they talk about the good old days. I don't understand what good old days is. It's only been dead. But the good old
Wait.
days for me was
Go
last year.
stream later. Sorry, if you guys want to click on this is the stream later at 8:00. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah,
I'll put it in
yeah,
the chat.
yeah. No. Obviously, if you're coming, if you're what is it called coming from this stream once it ends, just raid them in it, give them love, support them in it. Cool. Burnley. We haven't spoke about Burnley. As what is it called? Mark said.
Win.
It's a must win for Frank. Like we were saying, it was a must win for the Dortmund game. You know, I can't. We have to win this game. It's so important. It's because we are going closer to that relegation battle zone. You know,
so I worked out if we don't win this game, and say we don't win our next 4 because we've got the run right. We've got Newcastle, United, City, Arsenal.
Yeah.
And say West Ham, because even Forest, they're 5 points behind us. If they were
yeah,
win together, we're pulled right into it. So I think we have to win tomorrow. Like we can't not.
We have to win. You know, it's a must win. You know, no, I totally agree. And this is the saddest thing. If we was to go down to the Championship, I don't see us coming back. I see a Leicester. I actually see it. I see a Leicester. The reason why I see a Leicester is like in terms of like we don't have the players to fight in that level. We struggle with physicality in this league. Let's be honest with you. Look at all the injuries that we have. The Championship is more rougher, more tougher. You know, even the standards of the pitch, it's still not at the top tier standards. Like, think about it. So it's like I'm not gonna lie to you. If we was to go down to the Championship, rest in peace. We'll be doing Championship streams. We'll be doing Championship streams, bro. Like,
you know how many games in the Championship we will be playing games midweek as well. Going to Millwall away, mate, it'll be bad.
Bro, and I'm saying content creating is hard on midweek and weekend. Bruh, if it's midweek, bro. Every week. Yeah. It'll be difficult for me.
Plus,
hopefully
we don't
go for it.
And the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, because we're Premier League teams or in Europe, you get like a bye. You don't have to play certain rounds. I think when you're in the Championship, you have to play from like the early rounds. I don't remember what round it starts, but it's from like second, third round sometimes. Damn. It depends on the competition. You start earlier.
Damn. That's crazy. Didn't know that. But yeah, man, it's a must-win game for me, man. We have to win. Frank, look, for me, if it was all Frank, if it was the players, who knows? But if Frank lines up the way he lined up against Dortmund, and he does exactly what he done in that first half, we should win. We should win.
I think we're going to win 2-1, personally.
I'm hoping we win 2-1 as well.
Great.
I think it's going to be a difficult game. I think we're going to struggle, to be honest with you. It's going to be one of them games where we struggle.
They drew to Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy game.
It's not going to be an easy game. You know, our Premier League form speaks volume. Look, West Ham, Wolves, what do you call it? Bournemouth. Look, it's not good, to be honest with you. So for me, in my opinion, it's going to be 2-1. It's going to be a hard game. I have a feeling that we are going to get a goal from Xavi Simons, in my opinion, if he is playing.
A goal from Xavi Simons, do you think?
Yeah, I have a feeling that Xavi Simons is going to score if he is playing.
The past 2 games, I think he's been our worst player in both games.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing.
I know. No, I'm
Yeah.
not seeing the same as a lot of people as well. I agree with you. It's just
Like, I watched
right now
him, like, for
we
example,
need.
in the West Ham game. I thought he was the worst player on the pitch. Like, he was getting out muscled. His decision making was really poor. I think as though he's our only number 10 really.
Oh, that's
So,
exactly why I'm saying
yeah,
right now we
yeah,
have to use what we have and hope they. And I have a feeling Javi Simmons is going to score. He like in the Dortmund game, he was taking all of these shots and all of these type of
yeah, yeah.
like they weren't on target, but he was what he was lively in the Dortmund game. He needs to keep that liveliness and carry on doing it. Like it's better than what I've been seeing in the past weeks.
Oh yeah,
Let's
for
be
sure.
honest with you.
Yeah.
So for me, if Javi Simmons could get on the score sheet, maybe he can build off of that. I'm crunching up scores. I also believe Tell will have a bad boy game as well. I'm hoping he has a bad boy
Do you think
game.
he's gonna play Tell?
Yeah, man. Comes out swinging, scores a goal, looks
Tell
at
or
Frank,
the Bert,
yeah.
Solanke,
No,
Savvy, and I guess Gallagher and someone
Gallagher.
else, Gray, and Gray
Yeah.
or Paulino. Gray or
yeah, no. I have a feeling Tell is gonna come out swinging. Yeah, he probably might get a goal or something. Yeah, and then for his celebration, he goes to the middle and it just basically goes like this and looks at Frank. Yeah, man. I would love to see that type of bullshit energy, bro. Like, you know, like just be like, yeah, man, you dropped me from the Champions League squad. This is what man can do, man. You lost the playoff. I think
he's gonna get sold or loaned. You know, like next summer.
I believe he's gonna want to go. I feel like for me, he clearly wants game time, and he's not getting game time at Tottenham.
He's got any game time at Tottenham.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that's my score prediction 2-1. I believe it's going to be 2-1.
It's the first time we probably predict the same scoreline because I had 2-1 to Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
But just quickly before we end it, we've got Frankfurt in midweek, and normally I wouldn't speak about Champions League games, but we have to win this game. So what do you think on the Frankfurt game? Do you think we're going to go there and win? Because they've got nothing to play for now. They're out.
I don't know, man. I can't lie to you. I wasn't prepared to talk about the Frankfurt game. I want to see how the Burnley goes. But for me, if we're going to talk about a Frankfurt game, I think we can get it over the line. I think we will be able to understand if we can keep up this first half performance, because that first half performance was booming against Dortmund. No matter if you're Frank in, Frank out, you have to give credit where credit accrue. Whatever Frank done in the first half, or if it was Frank, yeah, he has to carry on to playing like that for the first half. You know, so I think if we was to play like how we played against Dortmund first half, I think we can actually beat Frankfurt. But by then, I think do you think Tell's going to be reintroduced to this Champions League squad?
I don't know, because he took Tell out for Solanke, so I don't know if you can put him back in for Bergwijn. Like, I don't know how it works.
Interesting. Yeah, well, if he could introduce Tell back into this Champions League squad, I think we need it because Bergwijn is injured right now, or Conor Gallagher, because Conor Gallagher is not registered. So Gallagher,
I don't think he can. So what it is, you can only say, because originally Solanke was in the squad, right? The reason reason he can put him back in is because he was originally in the squad, and he can take out Tell because Tell was in the squad.
Okay, so now the question is,
I think Gallagher, Sousa, and obviously Robertson, they can only be registered after this round, as far as I know, because they weren't registered for this round.
Fair.
I think that's how it works. So them lot, we won't see them lot. So it'll be down to whoever's left, I guess, Gray and whoever else.
Fair enough then. Cool. So we have to go with what we have to go with. It's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, look, changes can be made for February 1st, but only 3. So we can't add Gallagher yet or Sousa or obviously Robertson we get in till after February 1st. So we need to win this game and go into the next round, basically.
You know, I'll have more of a definitive answer to this Frankfurt game after seeing us play against Bournemouth. No, Burnley. That's what I meant. Burnley. Yeah. Yeah, I would have more of a understanding, and I can actually put my football knowledge on the line if I have. If we go back into how we were playing in the Prem, you know, and we start like how we played against West Ham. I doubt we will have a chance. I think for me, he has to win against Burnley. He has to also win against Frankfurt. Every game is a must win. Every game, if we're honest, there is a must win. We can't drop points. We can't drop points in the Champions League, otherwise we get knocked out.
We have to win the game. So.
Yeah, we can't lose to Burnley, otherwise we get pulled into this relegation battle. Everything is break or make for Tottenham right now.
If we win both those two games, then we're all right.
Yeah, but
if we don't.
Yeah, you know what? This is like trying to double your money on roulette, all in on red or black. This is what it feels like right now. Because if it hits that black and you put it on red, you're scarred for life. if you hit that black and you have it on black, you'd be like, yes, we made it through. This is the same scenario. He has to win against Burnley, otherwise we'll be in a relegation. For me, if we lose against Burnley, we're in a relegation battle. I don't care what anybody tries to say.
We are.
It's relegation.
We are.
Yeah.
Because they'll be 7 points behind us if we lose to them.
Yeah, so we are in a relegation battle. Just keep it, Buck. If we lose to Frankfurt, we're knocked out of the Champions League, and the only thing that we can actually be happy about.
We'll be in the playoffs, I think. That we won't be knocked out.
Okay. Oh, we won't be in the knockout. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Okay, let me change everything I said. Frankfurt is not a must-win game then.
But it is a must-win because if we don't win that game, and we get into the playoffs, we'll have to play 2 games in February. And it's either side of the North London derby, I think.
Oh, damn. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. It's not must win. To be fair, we should be trying to win all our games, you know?
We have to win our next 2 games, and we should be winning our next 2 games.
Yeah. We have to.
I mean,
we have to
go there and get results somehow.
We have to. Yeah. It's a have. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's our predictions, man.
Okay.
If you liked our video,
like, subscribe to the channel and your channel, and into Spurs. And congratulations on the 1 again.
Thank you, my bro. I really appreciate it, man. And hopefully you're gonna be there soon as well, man. Listen,
Too much. Too much. So Too Much Show and Spurs Racing TV. Is that everyone? I don't know if one.
Yeah, that was everybody. Yeah, no. Yeah. And also go to the 2 Mark shows after this if you guys are watching. Give them support, love, subscribe to them, man. They're hardworking. Go to the Fusion channel, 100%. Get these guys to 1K. Trust me, it's hard work, and we know it's hard work because we're doing it right now. Get them to 1K, man. Support these channels. We have to support all of these. I'm blessed that I'm at 1K. I didn't think I would ever get there. Personally, I didn't think. These past 3 weeks, man, have been like crazy. Work ethics. Nobody's getting in between my grind right now. And all of you guys still watching, I've got a video coming out probably tomorrow. I'll probably release it tomorrow, 3 p.m. That will get dropped. And yeah, man, come on, you Spurs. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah.
Okay.